Okay, guys. All right. So Jen, Angela, who else is on? Someone else is on. Ah, Chloe's on. Chloe will come into studio. I have to ask her to stay home. So if I'm doesn't come, I'll tell her. Okay, guys, let's start with our feet in parallel. Somehow I have got dust all over. Where the hell's that come from? Anyway, never mind. Sorry, I look like a tramp. And then just gently rock forward and back. And let's see if we can close our eyes, guys. And as you start coming to the toes, you will feel that when your weight's not evenly balanced, you'll start kind of feeling like you're going to fall over. So really connect to that core, to navel to spine, and likewise when you come into the heels. So you'll often see people walking where they're slightly weights forward into the toes or into the heels, and it can really affect the back. And then just take the weight side to side. So transfer the weight to the right foot, then to the left. And even in this position, if your eyes are closed, just really get in touch with the body. Just the right side of the back near the bottom, feel a little bit tighter than the left. It might not, but it might. 2 more. Beautiful. And then we're going to soften our knees, and we're just going to take a circle. So you can open your eyes to see what I'm doing, and then close them again. So you circle around like a little pelvic circle, but as you come back, you straighten the legs. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then circle the other way. Again, just keep, this is when you might hear a little bit of cracking. Usually through near the Achilles, or it can be knees. 2 and 1. Beautiful. And then just really spread your toes. Really push your heel and the middle of the foot firmly into the mat. Stand up nice and straight. Really feel that your weight is evenly distributed. And then just gently open your eyes. And then we're just going to come up the 10 and try and just keep up just for a second, just so you really connect into that core position. And just have a little look down at your feet just for a second, and just make sure when you're coming up that the big toe is not coming away from the mat. And then we're just going to change the shape of our arms, so we're just going to take it into our Morecambe and Wise. So one hand on the forehead and the other one, try and get it as far around to kind of this hip as you can. And then lift for 10, then 9, 8, working the calf muscles, 6, 5, and Carol's being serenaded by Paul's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Morning, hon. And then just take the feet nice and parallel. A little bit of softness in the knees to start with. You might want to keep softness in your knees depending on the hamstrings and the back. We're going to take a chin to chest. We're going to bring the hips backwards and the weight forwards. And we're just going to really slowly take the weight forward to the front of the toes and send your butt cheeks, your sit bones in your bum, reaching up towards the ceiling. And then just take a breath in and out breath as we come back up. Lovely. I've just apologised, I have no idea why my leggings are so dirty and under, but anyway. And then just bring before we get into sort of some more hard work, we're going to bring our foot, you've got your roller out, guys, that provides a little bit of, help into balance, but hopefully you won't need it. And really feel like the leg that you're standing on, you're drawing up your femur, so your femur is your big thigh bone, or engage the quad muscles. And push the big toe into the mat, drawing the tummy in. And let's just hold, creating that real strength for that supporting leg. But feel free to hold on as well if you need to. You're still going to get that Strengthen the leg. Keep holding. If you've got one hand on the roller, take the other hand up to ceiling like this. If you've got both hands away, both hands come up. Take an in-breath. Out, back to centre. 5 more. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Beautiful. Just hold. Hold. 2 more breaths. Lovely. And that leg you were stood on, keep it to the back. Place that heel down and then just drop the heel into the mat. I know where it is, talcum powder. I'm going to put some talc in the front of my hair this morning because it looked a bit greasy. And then hold. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Particularly that big kind of gastrocnemius, that big calf muscle. Hold. And then straighten that front leg, and all we're going to do is sit back in the hips and just reach forward. Even that will create a little bit of a stretch through the front back leg. Or the back of the front leg. And then back up to centre. And then let's switch sides, guys. Let's go into tree pose on the other side. Yeah, just decide it's the right way. And then again, just hold. Yeah, sometimes balance on one side doesn't feel quite as easy as the other. So really push that big toe into the floor and feel like you're transferring the weight ever so slightly to the supporting leg. Engage that femur or engage your quads to feel strong. And this time what we're going to do, again, if you've just got one hand, just use one arm up. Otherwise we're going to take our hands all the way up to the ceiling. Take an in-breath. Out, breath back to centre. Let's do 5 more. 4. 3. Detention for the person who's floundering.
Me?
2.
I better just go.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah, of course.
Sorry.
And 1. And then just hold. 2 more big breaths in and out. Well done. And then that leg you were stood on, just again, take it to the back. So if you have very tight calves, it's nice if you're at home or somewhere to kind of take the weight into something and then you get in a deeper stretch. But obviously you haven't got a wall here, so just take the weight into the front knee, push that heel down, take a lovely in-breath. And out. In. And out. And then slowly up, straighten the front leg, sit back in the hips, so it's like you're pushing your bum to the wall and then you're just reaching forward. Hold. And then bring it back up to centre. Well done. Okay, so we're going to just, I'll go this way guys so you can see what I'm doing on the screen. I'll change when I just show you. So we're going to take one leg up. Again, if you need to hold on, that's fine. Just hold on to the roller. But if you don't, we're going to take it back into a straight leg. We're going to draw the tummy in and bring it back up. So really important for balance, for like running particularly. So just, I'm walking. Hold. Keep that core engaged. And then you can take, I like to take the arms forward as I come, drawing that belly in, keeping the tummy tight, and then back up to centre. And again. Reach the back foot. So you're engaging a little bit through the glutes. 3 more. 3. done. Back to centre, the leg you were stood on, just take that foot forward and just open up the ankle bit a little bit. Sometimes if you stood for too long, it can jam a little bit through the joint. Good, that will take us on to that other leg. Yeah, so again, balance may be better on this side or not quite so good. Draw the tummy in, bring that leg back. Keep the core engaged as we come up. And again. One more. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. And just notice if that foot felt easy to stand on. And then again, just open up. Yeah, so if joints get jammed, it can really kind of feel like the muscles are becoming really tight. So if you do run a lot or walk a lot in tight shoes, it's important to do that. And then you can grab hold of something if you want, or just again work with balance. And we're just going to open up that ankle joint again by just circling. And then circle it back the other way. And then just pendulum the hips side to side. 2 more. And then back and forward. 2, 3, 4. Well done. Good. Let's switch to the other side. Again, just circle the 4. Circle back. And then again, pendulum side to side. Good. And back and forth. These are really good ones to do before a run, really, to like mobilise through the joints. And relax. Well done, guys. Let's just get a little bit, so take the feet nice and wide of the mat, or come actually from, like sideways onto your mat. So draw the tummy in. It took me about half an hour to configure this run this morning. I don't know, I doubt everything. And then just down. So if you want to take second position, you can. I always think it feels easier to get a bit lower in a sumo squat. But obviously, if you're prone to sort of sciatic type pain, then parallel's better. Beautiful. Lead into the heel, push through that heel to get back up, fire up. 10 more, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4. For a bit of endurance, we're going to hold it down on the 1. This is 2. Hold it down, take your hands forward. Make sure the tummy's nice and tight. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Well done. Back up to centre. We're going to take. Do you know fall over then, Karen?
It's a spider.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
There's dead flies everywhere at the minute. I've been in the sweat this morning. Yeah. Oh God. Let's do 12 lunges. So make sure that back knee is bending as well. Weight ever so slightly forward. Pushing into that front big toe. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Again on the 1, we're going to hold it, guys. They're not easy, these, particularly because it's warm. But tuck your tailbone, just hold. Bend that knee a little bit more if you can. Okay, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just take the back heel down again before we switch. And just before we switch sides, the leg that's at the back, guys, just take it into that quadricep stretch. Again, if you need to hold on to your roller for this one, you can. Really pull that heel into butt. And if you just want, I know we're doing a bit of balance today, guys, if you want to just test your balance, you can go into like a dancer's pose or short pose, some people call it. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Back to centre. The leg you were stood on now goes to the back. Yeah. So again, nice kind of quite a big stance if you can. So you're getting a little bit of a stretch through the hip flexor as well. Let's go down. Hold it down, tuck the tailbone. I know they're not easy, particularly if you've got a dodgy knee, but it really strengthens it, so hold. Sun's shaking. Good. Bend a bit more for the last. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. And then heel into the back again. Take a lovely in-breath. And again. And beautiful. Well done, guys. Let's just warm up a little bit through our shoulders. We're going to lift some weights. I'm running out of heavy, so I'll show you when we do different actions. Some are easier than others. So if you've got a smaller weight and you're doing a bicep, and if you want to double up, you can do. Okay then, we're going to just warm up first. Really important that you mobilise everything first. So we're going to do, we sit right ear to shoulder, and left ear to shoulder. Right, and left. And hopefully when you do this, guys, it feels quite nice and not horrible, like nice. So does one side feel generally? So when I say left ear to shoulder, if there's a really deep stretch on my right, the other side's fine. So usually we carry more tension on one side. Ideally you should do 10 to 12 of these daily. And then back to centre, and then retract the chin a little bit, and then take the chin towards the chest. And then gently, don't force it to ceiling, just a little bit, and then retract, chin towards the chest. And up, chin towards the chest. 3 more. 2, 1. Well done. And really push your fingertips down to your toes, or to the ground. And then have a rotation. I'm not great at demonstrating this, guys, because I've got a dodgy neck, so I flex a little bit, but try and keep the chin as parallel as you can. Back to centre. Three more. Sorry, that's my 17-year-old who's like an elephant around the house on the floor next door to me. Jen, Angela, Chloe, I hope you can hear all right, because in fact I'm going to close my window because there's a lot of cutting of hedges going on. Okay, beautiful. And then we're just going to take our arms out. So we do this often. So arms out to the side, palms up, and then take a little calf raise, hold, back, down. So 1, hold, back, down. And again, 3, 4, 2 more, 2, 1, well done. And then we're going to take it into a front raise, and all we're going to do is retract the shoulder blades. Yeah, sorry, retract your elbows back. Shoulder blades pinch, out to the side and down. And again, if you want to come up into the calf raise you can, and down if your calves have had enough, and just keep feet on the ground, and retract out to the side, down, yeah, and 2 more, last one, beautiful, and then just 4 big circles, just have a little listen on each side, does one side feel a bit crunchier, and the other, technical term, and then the other side, and beautiful. So we are going to start with the harder one, yeah? For some reason I always start with biceps and they're easy, so it doesn't really make any sense, so let's get the hard ones out of the way. So I've got, if anyone wants a 5 later on, you can. There's another 5 waiting. So yeah, we're going to do abduction first. I'm actually going to just use a little one. So if you want, we're just going to do 1 arm at a time to start with. So we're just, in fact, can I finish that one? Yeah. Okay. So shoulder blades down, and it's really about control. So we're not flipping like this. We're really trying to extend, and then back to center, and again. Let's do 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Other side, shoulders down. 11, 10, 8. So trying to strengthen those shoulders in every plane, guys, if we can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And then again to a front raise. Again, which are quite tough. So front raise 1. And again 2, 3. So weight should feel, you know, if you're not feeling a lot, you're ready to go up. If you're feeling too much, then obviously this is the kind of right kind of weight for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Switch again, shoulders down, and lift. And then take the weight here, bring the other leg up if you can. If you can't, don't worry, just keep it on the floor. It's just to get that core a bit again. Tummy engaged, take it all the way up and down. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, halfway, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep with that arm if we can. Take it forward, back. We're going to lunge again. Weight slightly forward because these are slightly easy. We're going to do 20 biceps. 1. 10 more. 10. 5, want to swing that way, really control. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful, well done. Let's come to the other side. So again, up, push that big toe in, really help with that balance. Lift to 12. Beautiful. Take the weight forward again, nice lunge position, and 20. Your legs are getting too tight, guys, just do your arms. And 10. 2, beautiful, well done. 1. Okay, pick both up now. There you go, babe. Pick both weights up. Oh. There you go.
No, I'm going to do
They're
it.
not too bad, these. So we're going to take feet in first position, or parallel, doesn't really matter. And then into dumb waiter. So you want to really glue your elbows together and make sure your rib cage is keeping really in and together, so we're not pushing out like that. It's not like I must improve my boss like I used to do. It's go, I must. Anyway, maybe that just now. And again. And then close. Eight more for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, beautiful. And then chariot. So chariot's to get the triceps. But all you do, take your arms super, super straight behind you. Keep the shoulder blade down the back though, and you just pulsing up, pulsing up, pulsing. 8 more, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The other side. So again, we'll make sure we stretch. I did a HIIT class and someone, Zoe Locke, one of my friends were doing weights. She texted me, she went, oh my God, my arms are killing me. Who tampered with those weights? I'm like, no, buddy, you just don't use them for long. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Well done, guys. Just shove your weights on the shelf. What's it called?
Windowsill.
Windowsill. Do you know sometimes when you just can't think of my word? It's like, what's that called? And then we'll just so you're not, when we get down on the floor, you're not kind of risking kicking them. And then just take one foot in front of the other. It doesn't really matter, it's just to remind me which arm to do really. But if you're, whatever foot's in front, take that same arm up to ceiling. Really important that you always stretch out through weights, probably more than anything really, so you don't get that horrible tightness. And then just have a little pull on the wrist with the other hand. Try and keep everything super straight. And then just push the hip out and really kind of pull. You'll find when people don't do Pilates and you get them to do this when they come to like a one-to-one and their lateral flexion is really poor. So it's really important to stretch out through the side of the body. Take a breath in. Two more big breaths through the nose. Last one. And then up to centre position. And then the hand that's kind of up towards the ceiling comes behind the back. The one that was on the wrist comes onto the head. And again, this time we mobilise the neck. We're just going to stretch it. So you bring the ear towards that kind of elbow area. And try not to let the shoulder slide forward, bring it as far back as you can so you're opening up through the pectoral chest wall. Hold. And then back to centre, and then the hand behind the back comes out in front, the other hand comes under to pull the across into that deltoid stretch, that shoulder stretch. Yeah, if you didn't do these after weights, you'd find all kinds of issues, so always just make sure you're stretching, which is what, is it Charlene? Is it Charlene or Charlene? Yeah, it's Charlene was saying. That's why she felt so tight, she's not stretched after a weight, and she'll be lifting probably heavier weights with the PT, quite heavy. And then just hold. And then last one, triceps, so take that hand up, bring it between the shoulder blades, push down, and as well as stretching out the muscles, it's really keeping that mobility of the shoulder. So this is when we don't always, but we just check that internal rotation with that opposite hand. And again, just notice, can you touch, are you miles away? My right side much tighter, this side only just touches. Hold. And then we're going to switch directions, so take the other foot in front now. And again, reach up towards the ceiling. Take the hand, have a little pull. Try and keep that real kind of straight body and push. And again, you might feel like you've got more flexion on one side, lateral flexion. Take an in breath. And out. In. And out. Last one, breath in. Back up to centre, take the hand that was on the wrist onto the head, the other one comes and it wants to move forward all the time, so really try and get that stretch through the chest and then take that ear to shoulder towards that elbow. If you want something a bit more, you can try and take the chin towards the chest. And always breathe in through the nose, and it's a choice really whether you breathe out through the nose or out through the mouth. Breaths. Last one. Back up to centre, the hand behind the back, bring it forward in front and then pull it across into that shoulder stretch. And last but not least, into triceps. So push, use the opposite hand to push that elbow down, hold. And again, just check. There's often a real, mine's not too different. It is different, but for some people it's like that. It's massive, and it's usually just that you've been using, usually it's the tighter arm. So someone in class the other day thought it wasn't, and then when they walked out they went, actually Joe, and I think actually I was wrong. So usually it's your tighter arm that becomes a little bit more immobile because you don't really stretch it out. But you know, your body's a bit weird. Okay, alright, let's get some movement again, guys. So we're going to take it to the, so I'll shout out, guys, because I'm not sure you can see me as well in this direction as when I'm led. Let me know, Claire. So chin towards the chest, bring the hips back, claws just come down to where, into that downward dog hug. And we're going to take it into that downward dog position. So we're really going to bring our heels, if we can, guys, as high as we can. So really, you'll have to obviously flex the toes. Bring the heels super, super high, and then bend the knees quite significantly, and then straighten the legs back up. So really trying to create some space in the discs. And again, bend the knees, straighten the legs. Bend the knees, straighten the legs. On the next one, we're going to bend the knees, we're going to straighten the legs, and then we're going to gently take the heels towards the ground. If you can't get there, don't worry, go as far as you can. And then bring the heels away again. And then down the other leg. And then we're going to walk into our plank position. Yes, so again, if plank feels too tough, guys, by all means come down onto the knees and just draw the tummy in. Or if you don't like being on wrists, you can come down into forearms. We were chatting about this on Wednesday night in class, and forearm plank, I do believe, is harder on the core. But if you want that upper body strength, wrist plank's good. Make sure if you are on your wrist that you are really pushing the mat away and lifting the breastbone and not squeezing the scapula together. So try and just turn your elbows a little bit in towards each other, like the creases, just so your upper back is wide. Let's just hold. It's warm today, so we're just going to hold for another 15 if we can. And beautiful. Well done. Come into a nice child's pose. Take your big toes together, knees out wide. Sit your bottom onto your heels and stretch your arms forward. Really trying to stretch out that back. And let's just rest it for a good 30-40 seconds. Deep in, out breaths. And hopefully you've got room, guys. You might have to bend your elbows a little bit to take both arms around, because we've done quite a few weights today, round to one direction. The hand that's following goes over that bottom hand, and just to get that final lateral stretch, take a lovely in-breath, breathe in as you let the ribs come up and out. Beautiful, and then to the other side again, noticing if one side of the body feels tighter. And fabulous. Okay, let's do something we've never really done this before. So I'm just going to turn this way for a sec, just to demonstrate, because I think the girls might find it. So we're going to bend, and it's good for everyone to see actually. So whenever you're laid in a prone position, make sure you push your pubic bone down. Normally we lift the forehead, but we're going to lift the forehead down today. We're going to bring these arms back. Yeah, so bend at the elbows. Keep the core engaged, so draw your tummy in. And we're just going to lift like this, and then we're going to take them forward. We're going to bring them back, and then back in again. This, sorry, look, I've lifted my head. Forward. If you can, take them to the back. Yeah? Back, lift, bend. Yeah? What did I do? Forgot. Round. It's almost like you're swimming.
Swimming.
Yeah. It is an exercise called swimming actually. But I know swimming as this one. So forward. If you find that you want to lift the forehead, it's a little bit harder, but you can do it. So really good. If you can imagine, you're really getting, if you can take it to there, you're really getting that stretch. So you bend forward, either just to there or back again. It's harder than you think, yeah? So that's why I said if you want to keep your forehead down, then you can do. Yeah, or you might have to do. You might not be able to lift the forehead, it might be too much. So let's try everyone together with the forehead down. So push your pubic bone down into the mat, draw the tummy in and keep your forehead down, but just lift. I'll end it with little blue bits all over my forehead. And then just lift your forearms first, bring the elbows down towards the waist and then take them directly overhead and then have a circle. Have you got room to circle?
No.
Ah, right, okay. Let me just, we might just today then, guys on Zoom, you can do that. We might in class today just have to take them overhead and then just bend at the elbow. Yeah? Overhead, bend, pull the elbow into the waist. So you might feel like you can lift the forehead then in this position, guys. Yeah, maybe when we've got quite a class. Keep that core engaged, really upper back work. You should be feeling it. And that's why sometimes by bringing the forehead away, it takes it into the back a little bit, and we really want to feel it in the upper back, not the lower. So if the forehead's down, you're more likely to feel it in the trapezius muscles near your shoulder blades, whereas you lift the head, occasionally it takes it into the lower back, which we don't want. And then just bring them back in, just relax for a sec, let your bum just completely have a little wiggle. Yeah? And then just because of space, guys, let's do dart instead now. So now take the palms into the seams of your trousers. Push your pubic bone down into the mat. Draw the tummy in. Slide your fingertips as far down to your feet as you can. And then lift the forehead and the chest away. Hold. So we don't do enough prone work in life. And then take the palms up towards the ceiling and then pulse them backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bring them slightly out to the side because you won't have space probably to bring them to shoulder height. At home, if you can bring them to shoulder height, do. And then again, lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring them back in. Lift again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out to the side. Lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. And gently back to centre. Well done. And then just windscreen wide. So if you do quite a bit of exercise, guys, or you do a job where you're constantly crouched over, you really need to try and do some prone work. And then take the palms now kind of to the next to your shoulders. We're going to try, some people find this super hard, so I'll take it in 2. So push your pubic bone down to the mat, draw the belly in, and just push take your forehead and your chest away. You might need to keep a bent elbow into like a mini cobra, or can you come all the way up and straighten? Beautiful. Let's take a breath in. And slowly down. It's really good, Paul, that you can do that well, because I've got a guy in my class who's got bad back and it's just kind of encouraged. He's really working hard, he's been given loads of cobra, but he couldn't get up at first.
That feels pretty good actually.
Yeah. And then gently back down. And then just take your hands to the side of your head, have a nice little windscreen wide, side to side. And while we're here, just in case your quads are a bit tight, let's bring one hand to the heel and just bring that heel into the bottom, just to feel that stretch. If you can't feel the stretch, push your pubic bone down to the mat and then lift the thigh away, which really increases it. And then switch sides. So again, push your pubic bone down, draw the heel in. And beautiful, well done. Just see if you can push yourself back into just a mini little closed knee child's pose. Take a breath in. And out. And then just come up into 4-point kneeling. We're just going to do 5 counter cats. Wipe all the bits of fluff off your forehead. It just using this blue one. And then just take a cow pose. Inhale through the nose. And then round at the tailbone. Into cat. Oh. And then 4 more. Obviously, if you prefer cow, just stay into cow. If you prefer cat, stay longer into cat. 2 more. Last one. And lovely. Okay, let's go into, good God, is that the time? Let's go into some core work, guys. Yeah, so if you want to go on your roller, I am going to go on my roller today, but if you don't want to, you can obviously just do all these actions on the mat, if the roller, or onto the ball. So I know some people prefer balls, so the beginner always prefers balls, so if you have got your ball, guys, at home, I'm just checking, good, I ain't got a hole in my trousers, that'd be right now, imagine it being even worse than that way than the 6 out. Okay, so make sure, the hardest thing is getting on the roller. Did we not go on it on Tuesday?
I did, yes.
You did, yeah. There we go. So bring your bum as far down, that's it, lovely, perfect. And as long as the head is come, always check with the hand, guys, that your head is on the roller. It should be pretty much near the end. But if if you are got a really, really long spine and for some reason you're just tipping like the bum off, just make sure that the head is on. So just give yourself, because we've done quite a bit of weights today, the chest should actually, because we've just done Cobra, should feel quite nice, it should feel quite open. But if you are a little bit kyphotic through the back, then the chest muscles shorten. So sometimes it's just lovely to just lie on here, unless you're Millivex, unless you've got a very bony spine and then you need a towel on it. So just take a minute to think about your posture. So without me saying anything, where are your eyes, i.e. where are they looking? Are they looking to the back of the room? And lots of people are before you correct them. If they are looking to the back of the room, give yourself a little chin nod and make sure you are seen directly above you or slightly in front. And then the ribs are the next thing that tend to be a bit of a problem. So ribs want to often come up and out, i.e. they want to separate, so try and push the rib cage in and down. And then everyone's posture is different, but if you're in neutral spine, most people will have a little bit of a gap towards their lower back. Yeah? But just to check that, just give yourself some pelvic imprint releases. So tip those imaginary drinks forward into the mat and then tip them back into the belly button. Really important, and try and find your neutral spine. It will work the core much better. And then take the right leg up to tabletop and the left leg. Today we're going to flex and we're going to hold for 3 seconds. So we're flexing the feet, we're drawing the tummy in, keeping the rib cage closed. And we're going to take the right leg. You can always do this with one foot on the floor if you find it too hard. We're taking that right leg forward and we're holding. 1, 2, 3. We're bringing it back to centre. Switch sides, take the other leg out. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Back to centre, and always visualise that there's no movement in the back. Imagine there's a tiny little break there. And you're not letting it roll away as you take the leg out, and you're not squashing it as you bring the leg back in, And again, the other side. Out breath. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Back to centre. And again, other side. 1, 2, 3. Back to centre. And again, just keep checking in with the chin, guys. The chin definitely wants to kind of start pointing up towards the ceiling. 1 more slow, hold. 1, 2, 3. Back to centre. Other side. 1, 2, 3. Centre. Let's do 12 single. Push the heel almost like a piston. Slightly harder, I think, than doing a pointed foot. 2, 3, 4. 6,
yourself a really big pelvic imprint release, big as you can. And we'll just check in with our core again, guys. So all we're going to do is take our right hand over to our left shoulder and then our other hand over to the other shoulder. So you're just crossing your arms basically across the chest. And we're just going to gently, so really listen to the instruction, guys. It's only literally an inch I want you to lift your right foot. So draw the tummy in and lift your right foot. It's really like literally just a tiny bit off the floor. Hold. And then take that foot back down, draw the tummy in again, nice neutral pelvis, and lift the other side. Is one side easy and the lower down, Bex, if you can, like literally, you are literally just taking the foot an inch away. And then lower back down, again, keep the tummy tight, and again, now just lift like a centimetre. Hold. And then lower, and a centimetre to the other side. Harder than it looks, isn't it? Hold. Beautiful. Back to centre, and then just release. So that level of kind of intensity that you need to keep that foot just an inch away from the ground is kind of what you want to be feeling when you're doing your core work. Okay, lovelies, let's come gently off of the roller. Just give your knees a hug into chest. Have a little roll around. I'm going to still use that, honey. It's alright, just for the last, all we're going to do is 4 because these are pretty tough on the hamstrings, and then circle the other way. If you don't want to do it, this next one, you can just do it with normal bridge on the floor. Otherwise, we're trying to strengthen the hamstrings, which although they're very tight, tend to be really quite weak on most people. So, let's just take, so if you're sitting all day long and the hips are getting super tight and short and the hamstrings are getting quite lengthened and weak, so we're just going to take, and it's a little bit warm today, so hopefully your feet aren't too sweaty now, because the roller might roll away. If you've got a little bit more of an arch in the foot, you're more likely to hold it. I tend to kind of, my feet tend to kind of flex a little bit, do you know, like my toes towards me, just to feel stable. So all we're going to do is fire up into bridge. It's tougher on the roller, like my hamstring already has kicked in on my left side. And then we're going to gently roll down. That's because I ran yesterday. Wow. I'm just going to give mine a little. Yeah, so what I want you to think about is tucking the tailbone and shooting the hips back up. Quite sort of forcefully, more forcefully than we normally do, but then slowly come down. You get a really beautiful kind of mobility through the spine as you come down. All the way through imprint, back to neutral, and then tuck the tailbone into imprint and fire the hips back up, really push them up. Can everyone feel the hammers kicking in a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then slowly down. Let's do 3 more. So tuck the tailbone, fire the hips up, lower down, nice and slowly. Good. Tuck the tailbone into imprint, fire, so your bum's engaging, your hamstrings are engaging. Slowly down. And tuck the tailbone, fire the hips up. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. And beautiful. Well done. You've all got your bands, I think, guys. Let me know if you haven't. Let's just stretch that leg out by taking the band and then just having that stretch in that leg. So don't be tempted to bring the leg up too far. It should feel mild discomfort through the back of the leg. Try not to dip the tailbone into imprint. Try and keep in neutral, and then just gently do that little inversion, eversion of the foot. Just in and out, in and out. the opposite hand, anchor the foot inwards and just gently bring that leg across the midline. Whoa, that's tight today. Hold. Beautiful. Back to centre. You probably won't have room today, guys, but just try and take the band in the same hand and just take that leg out to the side. Try not to try not to kick your partner in the face. And hold.
Jump the doors open.
And then back to centre position, and then just bend the knee to take that other foot. Yeah, got this hamstring. It really went that hammy. As soon as I went up in, I could feel it kicking straight away. And then just again, in and out. In. And then just anchor the foot in a little bit, and again, just gently and nice and slow. Yeah. And back to centre position, and then just out to the side. Again, just using the band to bring the foot towards you a little bit. Take a lovely in-breath. And again. And gently back to centre. And because it's time, lovelies, then close out to go, bless her. Get up however you want, just make sure it's nice and slowly, whether that's taking yourself over into a child's pose, or if you want to come up with me in a roll up, feel free to take your arms behind your head, take a breath in, chin towards the chest, wrists towards the hips, forward, and reset back up. And just nice and slow, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, please, babe, if you don't mind.